The British and American film industries are worlds apart. The American film industry is the most profitable film industry in the world, whereas the British film industry is nowhere near that. This means for anyone in the film industry to have a successful career and make good money, they have to go to America. And it means for any film to be really successful and reach a wide audience, it has to be invested in by big American companies. This is because the big six American conglomerates, of course, have advantage to bigger resources at their disposal that the British film industry doesn't have. The big six conglomerates that own a majority of the big American film companies operate on the model of horizontal integration, which means they often own advertising companies and other big media outlets that allow them to push their product across many different formats, such mediums. So push their product across many different mediums, such as TV channels. For example, they can advertise their film on many different TV channels and show it on many different TV channels. So a film made by a company of American conglomerate will get much more exposure than a British film made by the British film industry. And British films, to be successful, often try and sell themselves to American films, and I feel therefore lose some of their values. And I think Americans and British have two very different approaches to making films, and I will display those differences through the Americans' attempt to remake a classic British film. The film I'm selecting today is Bedazzled, the 1967 Peter Cook and Dudley Moore film, which was remade by Americans in 2001, which starred Elizabeth Hurley and Brendan Fraser. The central story of Bedazzled is that the protagonist, not content with his life or lifestyle of being lonely in a low-paid, miserable job he hates, is visited by the devil, who offers him 7 wishes for his soul. And the protagonist, in exchange for making that deal, will get to be with the love interest. And those wishes don't make him happy. And both films do stick to this central narrative, but they do it in very different ways, which makes them two completely opposite films. Often the big difference between British and American films is the fact that American films have wider distribution than British British films, and so therefore more people see it and it makes more money, of course. But both of these films were made by American film companies. Specifically, they were made by the same American film company, which was 21st Century Fox. So the original and the remake received quite a wide distribution. So these films don't differ in the typical way British and American films often do differ. They were both marketed in a similar way, as you can see by the film posters. Both film posters use a current sex symbol of the time to star, clearly using the persuasive strategy of sex appeal to appeal to their target audience, appeal to a male target audience with that. Raquel Welch only had 5 scenes in the film, and she was only speaking in 2 of those scenes, yet she was given a starring role, which just shows you how much they did want to use that sex appeal to that audience. However, a big difference between these two films is the content. American films generally tend to make a conscious effort to attract audiences through well-known set pieces that guarantee commercial success. For example, Americans like to use big effects and have high production values, as you will see in the remake of Bedazzled. However, British films, they often can't afford to use the same special effects and have the same production values, often tend to be more story-driven. And you can see the difference in how both of these two different industries have tackled the same film.